Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Today I want to discuss a tool that is so powerful but so misunderstood. And that's the idea about having routines, or some people might call them rituals. It's a set pattern of things that we do on a regular basis, and if we can understand them and take advantage of them, they can be really useful in boosting our productivity. So join me now and we'll do a deeper dive into routines. We all have things that we do in a set way. We may not even realise it. I know I didn't until I really started to look at it and to think about it. We may have a routine that we do in the morning. We may have a nighttime routine, a set of steps that we do before we go to bed. We may have a ritual around making tea, making coffee, making a drink, making a meal. When we're starting a new project, we may have a set of tasks that we do. When we finish a project, again, there's a set of tasks that we always do, and we do them in the same order. You sign up a new client. Chances are there's also a routine around that. And again, it might just be instinctive. If it's something that you do all the time, well, you just get on and do it. I've just given you some examples. There's loads more. But the idea is to start to look at what you do, to think about what you do, and then try and work out how you can use that to your advantage. So for me, I've got a morning routine. Chances are it's very similar for a lot of people. I get up. Always a good start to the day, that isn't it? I take a shower. I pick up the dog's bowls and I put the food bowl and wash that. The water bowl, I empty it out, clean it out, and then put down fresh water. I make a cup of coffee. To me, that caffeine infusion, well, it's just a kickstart for the day. Once I've made my coffee, I then come and sit at my computer while I drink my coffee, and I check things like my YouTube stats, I check my emails, I check any messages that have come in overnight. The idea here, inbox zero. This is my opportunity in the morning to clear out anything that's in any of my inboxes and get them into my planning system. And talking about the planning system, I take this opportunity to look at what's going on in my day and to make my plan for what I want to achieve that day. And that I write down in my journal. This is just an example of a morning routine, and this is something that I find really useful. Now, where the power comes in. If you want to change what you're doing, if you want to stop a habit, if you want to create a new habit, knowing your routines means that you can find a routine that matches what you want to do. If you've got a client onboarding list and you want to start filling out a new client information sheet, you make that part of that client onboarding routine. For me, a while back I decided I wanted to start daily journaling. So I looked at my routines and I thought, well, it's something I would benefit from doing in the morning. So what I was able to do is I adapted my morning routine and I slotted that journaling in. And where I put it was between checking my YouTube stats, my emails. So I'd do all that. I would then journal and then I would plan, because you never know, something from the previous day may affect today's plan. That allowed me to start to consistently journal, because I knew after doing my emails, I then journaled and then I planned. That morning routine, that morning ritual allowed me to easily adopt it. Another example for you. A few years ago, my wife decided she wanted to stop smoking. She'd smoked for virtually the whole of her life. What she did when she was making this decision is she looked at what triggers her to smoke, when does she smoke? And we found a number of things. We found that she would have a cigarette first thing in the morning. She'd make a cup of coffee. She would go outside, sit on the patio and smoke. If she was bored, she would smoke. If we were having a meal between the main course and the dessert, she would smoke. By looking at that and understanding what was triggering it, she was able to adapt her routine. So now when she gets up, she doesn't make that coffee. She goes and she sits and she reads the news. That takes away that first thing in the morning craving. When she was bored, well, what she did, she took up a new hobby. So when she was feeling that craving, when she was feeling bored, she would just pick up her knitting and she would knit for a few minutes. Again, we identified what was triggering it. We identified the ritual that would happen when she felt that and changed it. Same with our meal. As I said, between main course and dessert, she would like to go for a cigarette. What we did? We now have 1 hour between finishing our main course and having dessert. That means we've got an hour where we're doing other things. We've broken down that desire to have a quick cigarette before dessert because, we can go and do something else together. By identifying your routines, your rituals, your habits, you're able to take hold of that understanding and apply that to what you're doing and use it to make those small changes that increase your productivity. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope you found it useful. What are your routines? Why don't you spend a couple of minutes, think about what routines you have, think about what you use them for, and then drop a comment down below. I'd love to get an idea of people's routines, people's rituals, so we can all understand and use that to power our own productivity. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.